Alex, start the beat.
Welcome to the Guys with Beards. I'm Alex.
I'm David.
I'm Kyle.
Caleb.
Oh, Christ. Catch you in the middle of something?
He's our fifth guest on the show, him being the fourth guest.
I don't know if that works like that, but we'll go with it.
We do so many episodes, he's going to be here longer than Sean.
Oh.
This is true. Oh, a new challenger approaches.
That's true.
But I think we should discuss what we came here to discuss.
Yes.
Excuse me, sorry, pardon me.
Yeah, give him a second. Look at
Topic
that.
of discussion.
That's beautiful,
Let's
folks.
not touch the table, guys.
I'm not touching it, so I don't know who you're talking to.
We're gonna talk about controllers today.
And why the N64 controller is the biggest, baddest of them all.
Debatable.
That's not.
It's like colon and why.
But David here is going to be randomly selecting a controller from the box, and then we'll talk about it, and then we want to rate it.
We can rate
I feel like
it.
1 out of 10
like-
is so cheap.
I feel like we can just talk about it as well.
Yeah.
We can how about this?
Rating it's kind of cheap.
How about like a yay or a nay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Overall, I agree. And
Yeah.
3/4 vote?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Can have it in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Guys
agree.
with
Alright,
beards
cool.
approved.
Yes. Good.
All right,
So the first controller.
duct tape.
Yay. Well, no.
No.
Got so excited for it, he wanted to beat up the freaking mic.
It's a yay from Caleb.
Yeah, I'm a gorilla on the inside.
This is the
that's for
perfect
sure.
controller, right? If
What kind
you
of
need
games can you play with it?
ripping hair off your body,
That's a pretty good one. It's free waxing.
Do it.
if I can,
Do it. You got that there, bud?
yeah.
Oh, yes. This is what we do for views, folks.
Okay, that's actually kind of tight. No, I'm kidding.
It's great.
Okay,
It's great.
Alex,
Yeah,
I'm not
just-
gonna do it. I'm just gonna rip it off slowly.
Oh, it was not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Good.
A little
Eating
bit.
connected.
Well,
There's some.
look at that.
Oh, look at
That's free.
a third camera. All right.
3
All right.
lenses.
Anyways, moving on to the real content. I swear to God.
All right, fine. So the first one, I think that really stir people's imagination was the Joy-Con grip my asshole. Okay, so
That's definitely what it's called.
no, but the Joy-Cons, right? And with the Joy-Con
Yeah.
grip, I'm actually a huge fan of them. I really like.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, we're going to separate the different forms of Joy-Con because they're their own controller.
Ooh,
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
So you have the right one, which has the A, B, X, Y buttons,
Right.
and then which has the shitty D-pad button on it is the left one. Right? People hate the D-pad, but I don't mind it.
So that controller is a bit controversial because so I remember when that controller, when the Switch was being advertised, like before it was released, everyone was like, "These controllers look sick,"
Yeah.
but it was actually already a problem even then. Like people worrying about them being too small.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's not as bad of a problem as I thought it was. Still a little bit too small.
Not necessarily what you would call your pro gamer controller.
I
But
think.
they have also caused a lot of problems, I think, with Nintendo.
The Joy-Con,
With Nintendo,
the grip or the drift. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
specifically with the drifting
Yeah.
and the left stick. That has actually caused like lawsuits to start against Nintendo. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think so. I
I
think so.
think because like for a while they weren't addressing the issue, or how they're gonna fix it. So I think people started making claims against them.
Yeah.
Both of my left Joy-Cons actually are drifting.
Both?
Really?
Hasn't happened to mine, luckily.
Wow.
Thank God.
Yeah.
They're
troopers.
I think-
either.
They're not quite there. Like, if you flick them, like, the wrong way, they'll start drifting. But, like, if you don't do the certain action that triggers a drift, I guess, they won't drift.
That's interesting.
weird.
It's weird, yeah.
You
Like,
do
the
the
controller,
command
like, the stick, like, gets off its set. But, like, I can reset it.
Yeah, there's
You gotta put in the
the
command
Well,
input. You gotta
They're
Yeah.
they're fickle little things and they're expensive as hell.
they are.
So
Yeah,
when they
80
when
bucks
they
a pair.
when they
Like,
when they
$100
drift,
for two, though. That's kinda
it's
ridiculous.
Actually, I think it's $70 for both of them, and then if you want to buy one single, it's $40.
yeah, it's crazy. It's
So-
freaking crazy.
Yeah. They're
I
a little
put-
small.
But
not worth.
on the
But
good,
portable.
on the good
Yeah,
notes
that's
of
the
it
upside.
is that if you want to play Mario Kart with two people, you only
Yeah,
need one
exactly.
set.
Yeah.
So
To
it's
To be
like
honest, like if you have the rails on top, playing like even games like Smash isn't the worst.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's a little
Like-
small for two hands, but it's...
it does the job. It
works.
really
Yeah.
does the job.
if you play a long time,
the
it'll
first
cramp out,
the
but
first session of
it's not
Smash
bad.
I did for a very long time was on one Joy-Con because everyone was so excited in the controller.
Everybody had to play 8 players.
Yeah, but I had a good time. The shoulder buttons on here are a little weak.
Oh yeah.
Oh
But-
yeah, you're not
The
supposed to.
rail is
Yeah,
not
you're supposed to use the
awful.
rails,
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
Yeah.
But the best function is actually the rumble. The HD rumble
I know
on
it's
this
rumble.
is
Yeah.
very,
It's a
very
nice
good.
feature.
Very nice.
I'm impressed with it, and I think that over time, I think Nintendo will get better and hopefully be smarter.
Well, maybe
about
the next
their-
version of the Switch will have bigger Joy-Cons.
Well,
true.
You know?
like I absolutely hate controlling any game with them separate. I will say I really actually do enjoy it when it's in handheld mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it's on the
Yeah.
screen itself, that feels actually really good for most of the games that I play.
What
So,
about when it looks like a dog?
when it's in dog mode? It is a good boy. I don't know.
it is
I mean,
a good
I mean,
boy.
It's something, it's easy to whip out
Yeah, it's
real
a good
quick,
boy.
put together, and then you just, you set up the
Solid
Switch.
I think in general,
That's
my
fine.
You
It's good.
switch. All right, let's go next. What?
I think final note. I think my biggest problem overall with that is just the range of movement on the sticks.
Yeah, it can be a
It's
little
a tiny
touchy.
circle to move around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then again, I'm also spoiled by the glory that is a pro
So,
controller.
what
Spoiler
would
alert,
we
like,
say
pro
before we
controller.
pull out the next
that's
one?
right.
Do we want? Is it a yay? We'll start in the order. We'll just go.
I love the
why would it
even
go
with
in
the
the
drift problem. I love the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Out of all the forms that it has, it's like a good
It
3 out of 4.
it achieves the
I
purpose
enjoy.
it sets
So,
out
yeah,
to
yay.
do.
I'm gonna suck on your thumb. I
It-
swear to
The guys
With kinks,
So this is the next controller.
honorary controller,
Rock Band.
or you didn't even wrap it properly.
So the reason why I brought this is because one, we forgot a guitar, and I plugged this into my computer to test how
Yeah.
good. It's actually really good.
I mean,
For coming out in like 2007,
No way.
it's not bad.
well, what's not bad?
The sound quality is really not bad. I actually went on Discord and was talking to some friends on Discord, and they were like, they didn't notice between my Blue Yeti Snowball and this one. So
It's ridiculous. Let me see it.
it's not bad.
Oh, it's higher quality plastic than I thought it would be. I have not held one of these in a hot minute.
Yeah, it really is not
kind of
bad.
want to unscrew and look inside of it, but you can't do that.
Yeah, not yet.
Anyways, I'm Alex. This is Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never use it too much, so
You don't use it for anything else besides
Yeah.
There is one thing. I think you had to beat the top of the microphone
Sometimes, yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
playing Rock Band. So I think it's meant to like withstand some resistance, right?
Yeah.
And what I would used to do with my old one for the Xbox 360, because this is actually meant for the Wii, I believe, but I don't think it matters since
I
it's
think you use
USB.
both, yeah.
Yeah.
But I took a drumstick and just
I mean, you can.
no, you
Got
can't.
that metal grate on top.
But
it's not like a fake one. Like
it's
the other
yeah,
ones.
it's
pretty durable.
It's pretty good. But the whole Rock Band guitars, I think personally, are better than Guitar Hero guitars.
I would argue not.
It's a can of worms.
Only because, okay, so it depends. Guitar Hero 3 is considered one of the best like mapping to controller
Oh, yeah.
games out of most guitars, I believe. I only know this because I watch what's his name,
Asai,
or Kai. He plays Clone Hero and he uses a Guitar Hero guitar. I think just because the buttons are a bit.
Yeah, I think
So I think in like a super high tier gameplay sense,
For
Guitar
sure.
Hero is probably better.
for sure.
Yeah.
But the reason why I like the Rock Band one better is because that's the game I played.
Oh, of course. I mean, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
OG for you. It's the OG.
I mean,
you know?
if the Guitar Hero one is actually better,
Well, we can
like-
expand it into just more than just Rock Band and just say it in general. You know, like Guitar Hero did the same thing later on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the drum-
these
the drum-
types of controllers.
the drums for Rock Band were sick.
Oh,
and
yeah,
are still are.
revolutionary
Oh
shit.
yeah, I think those are like definitely better.
Yeah.
Is there anything we want to say about this guy?
Hmm.
We should use this for
it's-
the podcast.
Okay, we will. One
Is
day-
that
one
even
day
like
we will.
actually a controller?
Like I said, it's honorary. It's honorary.
it's like
it's
the-
not a real
Could you go to
controller.
the menu with it?
No, I don't think so.
No, you can't.
Because you had to use a controller. But
Right.
like, you got to think that a lot of
Someone
like,
can mess with it and make it a controller.
you know, if we could,
Tapping the top.
you play a game with this, and if we take the example of Mario Party with the GameCube, you know,
Seven.
or is it 6?
I think 6 might have.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
six
voice-
with the
voice-
microphone?
Yeah, the voice games.
Like
yeah.
it counts as a controller. You have to plug that in.
That's true.
So,
Someone could definitely like make like use like a vocoder and like just
oh, for sure,
make
that'd be
controls out of it,
sweet.
dude. You got like Google send a text or whatever. You can do turn left.
I give this a yay because I mean I can't believe I still have this thing.
I mean, it stands the test of time. They're durable as shit. The freaking Nokias of goddamn the controller world.
Right.
So it's a yay for me.
I'm so.
It's not a controller. I
Yeah.
said nay.
It's honorary. Can we give a A May?
I prefer.
I guess I'll have to. We have to be definitive. I'm gonna go May.
Nay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. I kind of always hated Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
So I'm going to abstain from this one.
So it's still majority. So
Hey,
Nay.
pick one.
Definitely Nay.
Do you want to pick one?
I want a random.
Oh, okay.
Shake the box.
Please don't break the controllers.
Shake the
not?
box.
Why not?
It's down here. Oh,
Oh, buddy. The classic.
Let's go.
All right, so Nintendo 64.
Caleb's top choice.
pass it around the table. Let everyone get
Yeah.
like a good analysis
So-
of the controller.
Humans actually have 3 arms. Did you know that? Right?
You don't get it.
This controller, if I hold it like this, it's great. It really is. I feel it's really good. But how the hell am I supposed to hit the shoulder button?
Hold your face really close and touch it with your tongue.
There are 3 ways to play, my dude.
Yeah, 3
You
ways
can play
to
it
play.
like this, you can play it like this, or you can play it like this.
What happens when you need to do all 3?
Wait, why would you play?
When do you need to hit the shoulder button? You have 2 of them.
Different era, folks.
Yeah.
It's
Well, why don't you tell me why you love it so much?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious.
it's
I'm the
unique.
biggest fan.
It's kind of an art piece.
Okay, but we're not here to see an art piece. We're here to judge
You
a
know,
controller.
It's the grandfather. It brought everything together. This is it's limited by its time, but this is a beautiful controller. It does everything you need it to, could ever want it to, and more. Like, it has shitty components,
Can we
of
just
course. The
talk
control
about for
stick
1
sucks.
second how if you cut
Some of the buttons
bottom off of
suck.
it, it's just a broke controller?
Playing Mario Party with that thing is just a pain in the ass.
Well, that's
shape
just
is
because
exactly the
the
same.
control
I think
stick sucks.
I
So
will
it's
merit
limited
it.
by its time.
I will
but-
merit the Mario Party 3 experience, which is objectively the best Mario Party, is incomplete without this controller.
Oh, of
For
course.
sure.
Of course. It was made for it.
Yeah.
I mean, so
This
I'll give it that.
controller.
But that Mario Party is insanely hard, and I think
So,
part of it is because
I think
of the
your
controller.
point is fair. It is limited
So-
by its time.
My argument against it, I do like this controller. I actually bought this at Smash and Splash because I wanted to play Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 64
Yeah.
so bad, and this controller is really good, and I really like it how it feels. It was the cheapest one they had, but it's still a good controller. The thing is, if we want to go back to play a game on the Nintendo Entertainment System, we're going to use that controller.
Yeah, of course.
Same with the Super Nintendo. Same with the
Yeah.
GameCube.
Has to
Same
be
with the
judged
Wii,
fairly.
right? If you go back playing GoldenEye and like Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, that controller is going to feel like shit. Super
Oh, of
Mario
course.
64. That's why when a lot of speedrunners, they emulate it too on their computer, right? And then especially like streamers, like if you're a diehard like runner for Mario 64, you're going to use an N64 with a CRT.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of streamers, they just use a GameCube controller, plug that in through a May Flash,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
it's just so much of a better controller like that. But I will give it. I really like the C stick on this. Actually, like the
Let's go to the
yellow
center
buttons.
stage. It's
Yeah.
the, you know,
Yeah.
it's very nice.
You know,
So-
I think about. I got long thumbs. Like this is not like that much of a problem.
Ugh.
I think, okay,
I can do that
when
all
you
day,
think of the
right.
term, like original demographic we're targeting for, which is kids,
If I really want,
I mean, it's like some little ass kid's got to reach his hand 4 ways across the controller.
But you don't need to.
I'm a grown ass man. I don't need that.
I think the controller's great, and I liked how there's something like you can add the rumble feature on it.
I
you
mean,
know?
it feels good until you have to do that, but that's kind of the point of the controller. You know, they didn't make the controller and like not think of the fact that someone's going to have to do that. So
It's
it was
definitely one of,
intended
like,
into the design.
I think that's like the entry level of like weirdo controllers.
It's also got iconic
but there are
stands.
controllers that are way worse.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. It feels good. I don't know. Regardless of you having to hold
it
like
does-
this sometimes, it feels good in your hands. It's
Yeah, I will
spread out
say,
wide enough to where
as far as, like,
the buttons feel.
You know, controllers don't do
tight.
enough. Like, yeah, controllers feel bulky to me when there's more of this stuff here.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, I feel like I don't have
It
to
can
get
be a flat. Like,
It's
see how
very-
there's like
it's
almost
concave.
no plastic, like right.
It's very
like,
concave.
It's very thin right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like my hands to be about that close to the buttons.
Yeah.
Like on the back. You know what I mean? That feels good.
Yeah,
This
nice-
form
nice
right here,
flat controller.
great. I just go to it right there.
Look
and
at
then it'd be-
3 hands.
well, you can.
Yeah, look at that, just have your buddy help.
So I like just to move on since we have so many other
Yeah, we have a
controllers.
lot.
I'm still gonna give this a thumbs up.
Of course, it has an iconic status,
I think it, yeah.
and I respect that. This was
Overall
a
merit.
great thing for the time it was in, and it made all of the other ones. It's baby. It's grandchild, grandchild. Grand second cousin removed. It was the paving for video games and controllers.
pretty
So
2 thumbs up. This controller is clout.
You heard it here, folks.
All right, what's next? Let me.
Good. It's good. Pick one,
Oh, is this what I think it is?
please.
Oh, baby, it is. So, this is.
Ooh.
Like,
Classic.
oh God, it's stuck. There.
Well,
All right, so this
box.
is the Xbox original.
Original OG controller. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's I used to
I'm a huge
play
fan of this
so
controller, dude.
much Halo
I'm a
on
huge fan
this,
of this controller.
and it's funny because I used to play so much Halo, and I'm still used to almost pressing the grenades with these guys because there's no bumpers,
I
right?
played so many shitty like third-person military shooters with that controller. It's ridiculous.
It's I think this is I think this is an off-brand actually.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the Xbox logo, but it still feels decently good. Yeah, this is really what kicked off the Microsoft train for all their controllers, and it still feels pretty good. It does feel a little huge, and there, if you know anything about the Xbox history, is that they had the Duke controllers, which were even larger than this guy, right? So it still feels pretty decent.
It's a little bulky.
Yeah. I like it.
And the thing you were
I
just
think-
talking about, space between your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This does not have that whatsoever.
And
But
I hate
think
this
that
feeling.
These are not long at all either.
The-
My
the
hands
chode.
I'm gripping down here.
The chode controller.
This is a chode controller for sure. I think this is also what started those memes about future controllers having 6 quadrillion buttons and like styles and switches and whatnot. and
This
all
thing
that
does
crap.
have a lot of buttons. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just got all this business.
Well, it's probably got as much as like the PS4 and Xbox 360, Xbox One. It's all in the front. Literally,
Yeah,
there's
true.
like so many buttons in the front.
You know, I will say though, like to its merit,
It doesn't.
these buttons suck ass right here. But the triggers, they've had that formula down since.
Yeah, oh yeah,
this
it's always
fucking-
felt good.
Their
on an
triggers
Xbox
have always
controller
felt
every time.
top 10.
Yeah, that's like
So good.
Yeah.
it's like the speaking
Pass it
stick.
over. Yeah,
Yeah.
pass it over. Pass it over.
Okay, I will say it feels like pretty shittily made as well.
But that's a third party.
Very,
I'm
very
pretty
bulky.
sure.
I mean, it's still the same, structure.
Third party
relatively.
controllers are. Oh man.
We'll get there. We'll talk about
like
some
the
more.
Mad Cats.
Mad Cats.
The Mad
Yeah.
Cats get the Logitech out.
I never had a Xbox regular growing up, so I'm not really familiar with this controller, but
You know, I believe. I
mean,
think
not
these
bad.
are also Rumble packs. I'm not completely sure because I never used to play with them.
right.
I think.
You look at that fat made in China.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
a
it's
third,
China.
definitely.
that's a third party
No,
experience
this
right
feels
there.
kind of good in my hands.
Yeah, it feels good. I like it personally.
I think it's a clunky junk.
You know what I'm thinking?
Under here.
Someone could Photoshop. Wow, this feels great in my hands, and then
See,
Photoshop so much things.
With how we grew up, we'd expect the things to be up here, so you
Yeah,
like,
the bumpers,
automatically
yeah,
kind of want
the
to reach.
bumpers.
Yeah.
But this is like a completely different way to play.
It's a way to play. Innovation.
It is. I have big hands, and this is still like it feels bulky. It's like the bulk is being put awkwardly between where your finger wants to go and where your knuckle is.
I think this could this is where it starts for me, where Xbox controllers like immediately just like
but
immediately start getting more uncomfortable.
joystick feel good. A little loose. That could just be this controller.
Yeah.
D-pad sucks. That's just kind of always
Yeah.
been. I've been up until at least the Xbox One. It's been shit. But I mean, buttons feel good. A little bit bulky.
I still give it a yay.
Yeah, let me hold on to this.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Is it a good controller?
Overall, I'm gonna go nay.
I'm gonna go nay. That's a hunk of junk right there.
I won't go yay on that. It's uncomfortable. D-pad shit. And I know that's a trend for a minute, but
It's like I'm holding the whole.
Honestly,
Xbox.
I think I don't care about controllers. Like as like how
way to ruin
like
the podcast, David.
Yeah,
All right, we're done.
Episode's
We're fucking
over.
done.
Fuck it,
I'm
we're
not
done.
really that picky about controllers
Yeah, I'm not
either,
either.
so like this feels nice
Well,
to me.
someone
I
has
kind of
to.
like how big it
I'm
is.
thinking about controllers.
Yeah,
I think D-pad sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever,
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm not
You
playing
don't
a
expect that
fighting
with an
game,
Xbox.
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up.
Thank you, Caleb.
It's in the middle. It's in the middle.
Junk.
All right,
Junk.
we wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Oh, you're grabbing one.
Bird up.
All right,
First 4 down. 3.5.
we got like 20 more to go.
Oh, the juice.
Oh, baby.
Okay,
So this
yes.
is the on-brand Pro controller. All right. This is probably the best controller out right now. I would say better than PS4, better than Xbox One. This is amazing.
agree.
This-
Interesting statement.
This is an amazing
Plus
controller.
utility. I mean, I know PS4 controllers and PS3 controllers can be connected to PC, but like this is so easy.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth
ridiculously
and
easy.
USB-C. The bumpers feel great.
Yeah.
The buttons are huge and they're it's so natural. It
It's
has
well
a little bit
spaced.
of it's like a little heavy, so
Yep.
it's perfect. The
Well spaced.
D-pad's probably the worst part about it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we
Yeah.
talked about this in one of our podcasts. How
Probably.
we talked
I think
about.
the Nintendo Switch, the PS3 one, maybe.
I think we did talk
We
about
talked
it.
about it. We talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the D-pad's the worst part.
I have other things I could pick apart about it.
But it's just so good.
Battery life is great. Charge it for 15 minutes and it's almost full.
Had my
Battery
Switch.
life is off the charts good.
I've had my Switch since it came out with the Pro Controller. I've only charged my Pro Controller probably like 12 times.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
It's probably
Very, very good feeling.
again.
on the flip here as well.
Again, it's my favorite controller out. That's right now. Right.
And Amiibo.
right.
And Amiibo.
you get Amiibo
use
function.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
it does have good amiibo function. I like how they hit it in the I think it was the right joystick.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah, D-pad's not the greatest for sure. Other than that, my other complaints only include the joystick. They're more like itty bitty complaints that you only really care about if you're like trying to like get into the controller. Like the left joystick is broken up into more segments, if I can explain if that makes sense. You know what I mean? This reads 16 directions.
Yeah.
Essentially. A lot of other better controllers, I personally feel like the PS4 controller broke it up into smaller ones, so there's even more accurate input, in my opinion. Other than that, my other complaint is that these triggers here, they're binary switches instead of gradual. I forgot what they're actually gradual
What the
switches.
Xbox has.
Yeah, so for example, like these have like when you input this is like either on or off. That's it.
It's a button.
It's a button.
There's no gradual build
There's
to
no
it. Yeah.
there's no middle input, which I think from a game creator perspective and from a like even if you're just trying to code the controller for something else, I think it provides less variability in that.
The
aspect.
Joy-Cons also have the same thing.
Joy-Cons
Yeah.
are also just
Yep.
just buttons. As
So,
well.
I mean, it feels really
Yeah.
tight, but that is what it suffers as a consequence.
Yep. Other than that, I think this screenshot button's a little too close to the left stick and a little too flush with the surface because it's just
Gets
too
pressed
easy.
really
It's
easily.
too easy to
So
manage.
picky.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So the-
I know.
This is a controller review. Thank you. Other than that, this is probably the most comfortable controller I've ever had.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
So
Had.
Yeah, mine went into a coma.
Wait, did it really?
Oh, yeah.
It will not charge. It will not turn on.
All I hope is
whatsoever.
that one day it will wake up.
Anything, yeah. What I
never
read
knew
was
that.
that you can either get a replacement
Oh, yeah,
battery,
that's why I get
battery
three
for
ones.
it. That might work, or just let it be in a coma, and then one day it might decide to work again.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Soldier down.
So I like this controller. It's nice. Feels good. It's hefty, just like David says.
Yeah.
The one complaint I have about this controller and the Joy-Cons is the screenshot button.
Yeah.
It's just like in the way. It's like
Playing a
I
Snap
have
game.
taken a couple screenshots, but like
It's so
it has to be
like,
at least
Yeah.
100 to 1 screenshots I don't want taken versus screenshots I want
Yeah,
taken.
that definitely happened.
It's so easy.
I've gotten more used to it though. When
Yeah.
when I was playing Breath of the Wild, like if you look at my first pictures, it's all Breath of the Wild because it's all on accident. But then just got used to it. So,
Yeah.
all right,
That's when-
Kyle.
So yeah, it feels great. I mean, I played the crap out of this with games that like I have to judge a controller based on like how well it can handle my hands because I got big hands that squeeze controllers really hard, and so
Big grippers.
when I'm playing things like Lethal League or Smash, where you're getting like super pissed, that's why I judge a good controller on. Can it stand getting the shit beaten out of it? Because it's gonna happen one way or another. It's gonna get thrown.
Let's talk
or-
about my
Dude,
Xbox 360 controller when you
Baby
threw it on the
forward.
ground.
Calm down. This
You
fucking
broke my
guy.
controller.
This fucking guy. Anyways,
Those I've like thrown into my backpack, juggled
It
around,
is-
dropped on the
Well, maybe that's
ceramic
why it's in a
floor.
coma.
But even then,
but-
no, I'm saying that they're durable as shit.
Are they?
well, it's not the Nokia Rock Band microphone, but it's pretty good. I mean, otherwise, this thing's freaking awesome. I use it for PC gaming, Switch gaming. It's good to pack on the go if you just want to take the Switch and a better controller than the Joy-Cons. It feels as good as any like A-tier controller out there.
It's juicy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna yay the shit out of this one.
Yay!
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Next
What's
one.
next?
the PS4 controller. It's the battery life is the worst thing about this
battery life is
because of
pretty
the
bad.
LED light.
Yep.
But the thing is, on
You can turn
PC,
that
on
off,
PC, it's really nice. You can turn on PC. It's nice. You can make it dimmer, and you can make it different colors so it doesn't use as much battery, which is nice.
It's not my favorite controller. I don't think it does anything cool.
Biggest complaint with it is the
What do
share
you mean it
button.
does do it?
Oh, cool! Yeah, wow, it's a mouse.
That never gets
Name another
used.
controller.
Yeah, it never gets what?
Name another controller that does that.
Keyboard and mouse.
I mean, it's cool for things like Resident Evil. It'll turn green when your health is green, and when you're red, it'll it'll do like gimmicky things.
Here's the cool thing about this controller. Okay, this is durable as crap. All right, this thing actually can be put through the ringer, like throw down the stairs, pick it back up, and play wherever.
All right, let's check it out.
Okay, that was
All right.
more the PS3 controller. I
Two,
feel.
we got these nice variable triggers like I was talking about. There's nice in-between values that you love to see. Right up here, you got good clicky shoulders.
All I hear is sucking dick.
Yeah. No, Jesus. You got, I think, okay, so I played most of my younger gaming on an Xbox 360, where the D-pad was down here. And for a game like Dark Souls, which I put the most time into, you have to navigate the menus with only the D-pad. Switching from that, like being used to that, even after as much Dark Souls as I played, switching to this was already way better. D-pad belongs up here,
I
and
agree.
the sticks belong closer to each other, I feel. When you put it up here, there's more space for a better D-pad too, which is why the PS4 has probably the best D-pad.
it's very
For sure.
nice D-pad.
Has the best D-pad. By far.
I disagree with that. I think if we look at all these controllers, the D-pad is always down. It's always down
Yes.
here. I love
And
that way.
out of all these controllers,
I
which
would
has the
rather
best
nice
D-pad?
I think this is way better.
You got me.
That's
but
the Donnie difference.
but
It's got,
feels so much
it's got a
better.
speaker on it, so it'll play game content. And also,
If
this
I
is
wanna-
not one button. This is two buttons.
If I wanna
There's
play-
a right and a left.
If I want to play a 2D fighter, I'm going with this controller.
oh, 2D
And
fighter.
also, if you have DS4 tool on your computer, and you can connect this to your like TV or something like that, and like you can browse your computer with this. Yeah, it's just a mouse pad, but it's a mouse pad.
Using
Yeah.
it as a
mouse
mouse
pad
on your computer.
Juice.
Yeah.
There's a right and a left click. It's so good.
It's
You turn on
phenomenal.
DS4, you're sitting on your couch, you're like just like with your computer, like
all right, I'm gonna play
absolute
CS:GO.
win in my
CS:GO
book.
with this.
Absolute win in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me this controller.
And from a technical aspect, considering that like top tier fighting game players like will use this sometimes over a fight pad, leads me to believe that is a good ass D-pad as well.
yes, this controller is phenomenal. I think it
Outstanding.
fits good in your hands. Joy-Cons are good. D-pad's good.
Joy-Cons.
Buttons good.
The Joy-Cons are great on
Joy-Cons,
this.
Yeah, the joysticks.
God damn it.
Triggers are good. I agree with Kyle. The share button
When
is
it's
useless.
When it's being used as a select button, different story. But like
Yeah.
otherwise, you press the share button so many times, and you're just like going.
It's
to
the
some
same
screen
thing as
that
the-
nobody uses.
It's the same thing as the screenshot.
Yeah.
over here.
It's
Arguably,
This-
screenshot
Also,
doesn't interrupt the
watch.
game though. It pauses and then it
Yeah.
goes to a separate
it's
screen.
easy to hit.
These buttons are easily jammable, in my
Yes,
opinion.
also true.
Also, I absolutely hate this charging port.
yeah,
Charging
the,
port on the top right here.
yeah, the
How it
charger
has see how it's like a little sunken in there? That makes it the worst for
Oh, yeah.
any generic micro USB to fit
yeah,
into.
a lot
ever.
of big
I
ones
agree.
can't
It
fit
is.
in there.
This is the
It
hardest.
is a really hard angle.
This
yeah.
is the
Yeah.
hardest, and I think the worst controller to charge without a charging station.
I absolutely
Yeah,
agree.
this controller, its battery life's abysmal
Yeah, that's-
too.
It is. It's, I think when you take it out of the box and you get the newer ones, it's like way better than how some of
Yeah.
the older ones are.
I'm sure.
But even then, the decay on it is so bad unless
Yeah.
you like have all the settings like down
Yeah.
for it.
Here, so
Oh, you already.
I know. I'm
Excuse me.
Anyways,
Anyways,
we didn't bring the PS3 controller because this is practically the same thing, just a little
yeah,
more
David
advanced.
forgot it.
In my opinion, this is the direct upgrade to a PS3
Yeah, I'd
controller.
stand by that.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
My other thing I like about this, instead of Xbox controllers in general, I like how it's not slanted on the sides. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
That's my biggest
Oh, it's
problem.
holding down more
it's-
straight.
I hate holding a triangle. That is the worst thing.
I absolutely agree.
I
It's because
like
it's
the
also
more
more
squared off.
wide. The PS3 controller is really small
That
in
is like-
comparison.
Yeah.
It made out of shitty plastic.
Yeah, that is like the biggest controller that can fit my hands well.
Though I really hate that they didn't have the normal select and start button because those are iconic as
Yeah,
fuck.
those-
and they feel
Yeah.
I
good.
could have really appreciated just nice clicks on those. You know, just like,
But otherwise, I think it really works as a controller. It's got a speaker too.
I think it's
So
Yeah, I think it's overall the
So does the
superior
Wiimote.
controller.
Okay, well, we're not on that one yet, so Jesus.
I'm still gonna give it a yay because
I'd give it a yay.
I
Hands
played
down.
I played Red Dead Redemption. I played Last of Us on it. It's still a good controller.
deserves
it's
all
just
yays.
it's just not my favorite.
Of course, well, we're not here to decide your favorite.
Yeah.
That can
Yes,
be done
we
at the
are.
end. At the end.
I'll give it a yay.
I
When I
agree.
play games on
gonna-
PC, unless I'm playing GameCube, PS4 is my
Absolutely.
preferred controller, without a doubt.
I'm not gonna lie. Recently, the Pro controller's kind of been taking over that, but it's mostly
Yeah.
because the Steam games I play don't.
But we use it
Fire
for like
action.
For the King.
Right.
We use for PS4 controllers.
PS4 controllers are also
It's almost essential.
nice and cheap most of the time. It's
Cheaper.
It's cheaper. They're cheaper than Joy-Cons for sure. Not. I think they're about the same price as a Pro controller, depending on which one you get. But more importantly, right now they're easier to get cheaper. You know what I mean? Through retailers and everything like that.
So you guys give it a yay. Of
Of
course.
course.
So next controller.
Next controller. I think the Xbox One controller is the only controller from the generations of the Switch and the PS4 to actually downgrade.
Really?
I think that the Xbox
What makes it
360
better?
controller
I
is
think
way
the 360
better.
is definitely a fantastic
360
controller.
360 carried so much legacy that it's kind of hard to
Right.
top it.
There's good things about this controller. It actually has batteries, and the battery life is not bad because
Well, it's gotta be.
runs
I mean,
in batteries,
Right.
and you can get battery packs, of course. I do like the feeling of it. It's pretty big, and it's satisfying.
Like I
but-
said, they've had those down from the start.
It is
I agree.
satisfying, but I like the Xbox 360's way better. The D-pad is actual dog ass. The worst D-pad. Feel it. Feel that
I'm going.
D-pad.
I
That
need to give my rundown here.
yeah,
These are the best triggers in existence.
they're
By
nuts.
far.
Yeah.
By far.
I mean, they've had that
don't
formula
get me
down
wrong,
for
Xbox
two controllers.
360 triggers have clout, but do you remember when they get old and you'd hear their springs creak
Yeah.
when you press them down?
Oh, yeah. But I kind of like that, weirdly enough.
It's so bad.
It feels
These
good.
shoulder bones are nice. I really like everything about this controller. The weight is good for me. The sticks are way better than the 360s. They dip down, so you get the nice grip as you're doing mad fucking circles.
Yeah.
D-pad's absolute fucking dog ass.
Yeah,
that is like abysmal bad.
It's
Like
We don't expect good D-pads with
there's-
Xbox.
there's no-
I actually like the start and back buttons.
The start and back buttons are way better.
You got the PS4
Home
beat.
screen button's
The,
good.
the
that,
home, yeah.
that button's good.
I think it's just a basic
Sure.
controller.
They didn't do
I
anything
like-
special
I like
with
how
it.
they stuck with the option of putting fucking batteries in, unlike the PS4 controller. If that thing dies
You're boned.
and you don't have a charger for it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck off. Like,
That is one thing the Xbox does really well,
these
the
things that
batteries in
weight-
their controller.
Just the only
Because you couldn't do that with PS3s either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think in comparison to the 360, this is a lot tighter. You know what I mean? The buttons are clickier.
It's got the next gen feel, but it doesn't feel like the Xbox
I like
360,
this.
you know?
I like the sticks better. Than
I think-
the
I think it
360
has
for sure.
to-
I like everything better.
I think
on
it
this
just has to
button-wise,
do with
except
the.
for the D-pad. I like the D-pad on the 360 better.
I think it just has everything to do with the actual console itself, maybe. Is that
agree.
because since the Xbox 360 had just so many heavy hitter games, when it comes to the Xbox One, they have shit.
Yeah.
I still cannot get over holding this damn thing though. It feels like my hands are like trying
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Maybe a little small.
I hate holding triangles. Like
It's disgusting.
I think it feels pretty comfortable. Definitely before PS4. This is a beautiful controller though.
Oh yeah, it looks
aesthetic
looks-
wise, they look the
very-
craziest.
They have the design lab
Craziest.
too, where you can like
Yeah,
have
they have
all
the
customization.
the elite version of that controller. Or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
where like
Oh, yeah,
you can like
customize
swap
it.
out all the
Yeah.
buttons and shit like that. And you
I
can,
don't think the D-pad's
There's
that
that-
awful.
they had that
It's
other-
not good, but it's not bad.
What's that other D-pad option they have? You know what I'm talking about? On the,
yeah, it's
on
like
the elite one.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a
It
second
reminds-
option for
It
sure.
reminds me of the Steam controller. You know, that D-pad, it was the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
little fun thing you could do with the D-pad on the 361, just a little shout out to it, as fucking you could turn
Spin,
it. You
yeah,
could
with the
spin it
new
sometimes,
with the
it was
new
fun as fuck. I don't
controllers,
know, I
yeah,
just
not
think
the old
that's so-
one. Don't
Not
try that
the
with the old
one, no,
ones.
No, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
I get the same like it feels like a small controller. It's not, but like, what is this? Why is this?
Because of the hands, it doesn't
Like
square off.
I should
like it
I should be able to do this, but that feels wrong. It feels like my hand is not fully on the controller. So you want to do this, but I don't know. This isn't really my style. I'm really not a huge fan of this.
Fucking earthquaking the table there.
I know. I was. He did that. He did that with the PS4. He's like, well, here's the PS4.
Like I said, I gotta beat it up a little bit. Give me a break. Give me a break.
His word.
Through mixing galaxies, gonna be like.
Just gonna cry.
D-pad feels good, not in a good place necessarily.
I disagree. I D-pad disagree.
I like the way it clicks.
It's not bad.
It feels nice when it clicks.
Feels clicky, but
But
like
It's not in a good place. It's still uncomfortable.
There's no,
And it's look how
because
it
of the
dips
clickiness
in.
and how like on and
That's
off
kind
it
of a whole
feels. There's
controller,
like
though.
no room for going in between. Like forget Z inputs on there. Forget doing Z inputs.
It
on
ain't
there.
no Xbox 360 controller.
Yeah, but I still give it a plus because it's
I'd give it a
does the job.
yeah.
It does the job, but it's just not as good as the Xbox
You know what the
360.
Next controller.
I'll
I'll
give
give
it
that.
like-
Before that though,
like-
I guess we have to. I guess I'll give it.
I like it, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
buy it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
so,
So
never buy
like,
it.
is that a? If you have it, good on you. If you
Yeah.
don't have it, maybe.
Suppose
buy
if we're
something
talking
else.
in those terms, then it would be a no for
I'm
me.
definitely not gonna say no if someone's like, "Want to play a game?" and that's the only controller.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
a,
yeah,
that's a
it's
fine
nice. It's a
controller.
nice controller for sure.
I actually own. I own a wired Afterglow Xbox One controller. I actually love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It actually
So,
might be better.
I
'cause it is
honestly
a
would
little
argue that is.
smaller.
I can customize the RGB on it. It has like these cool neon lights around the
Those are the
edges. of it.
fans too.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
That's right.
I used to have that one. That was a wired 360 that had fans built in and cool off your hands. That was the
That was a
best
plain
controller I've owned to
controller.
date. You can't get
So-
it.
I agree.
Yay for me. But the next controller is going to be kind of a wacky one.
Ah,
It's the
Console
DS,
slash
right?
controller.
But this is the 3DS.
console
But
controller.
the DS can go
3DS.
with it. The XL, right? When I got this thing back in 2014.
oh, I remember playing Smash and Orchestra.
Smash. Yeah, it did its job.
Yeah.
It was.
Orchestra, smashing English.
It was unoptimal to
This
not
is
play
how
the XL.
this is how I joined this group of people right
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
this,
that's- yeah.
this it feels good. It really does feel good. Again, kind of similar to the PS4. Bad battery life on the console
Well,
itself.
yeah.
But everything works really well. With the new 3DS XLs, they have the other
The
The-
C sticks.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
which it was
that C stick's a
bad.
joke.
It's useless.
You know what
That
that reminds
games
you know
don't
what that
even
reminded me
use
of? It reminded me of those old shitty laptops you used to get in like elementary school that had the little rubber blue
Yeah,
grip
in the
on
middle,
keyboard,
yeah.
and you'd like you put
Oh,
your finger
yeah.
on it and you
Yeah.
kneaded it around and like somehow
was-
it'd be going in whatever direction you were kneading.
That was better.
that was better than this.
It was a gimmick they tried and didn't
But
really pay off.
this control,
This is so gross.
it just
Yeah.
this feels good. I played Ocarina of Time on this, and it feels really good. The D-pad's not bad. The placement's a little weird, but
Joystick on the left, like joystick, I should say, like it feels good.
yeah,
It's not bad
it's
by any
good.
means, other than just the range of movement.
But also on the DS as well. The DS felt really natural. It
Yeah,
just-
I agree.
spaced out, yeah.
I mean, it feels wrong to not play on an XL now. You
I
know?
like this D-pad more
That's
than
true.
the 360 D-pad.
yeah.
I remember playing against somebody else with a DS XL, and you don't have the XL. It feels like shit because you're on a small screen and they got the double.
Yeah. One thing that the newer 3DSs have that I do like, they have the ZRs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On there.
yeah.
Those are crispy. Those are nice.
Idea.
All right. Well, yay, nay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to
thumbs
fuck
up.
with it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's.
It feels good. Good. God damn it. We're never gonna get past Kappa.
Let me see. I must see.
It's okay.
It's okay.
So I would. So I would originally argue that that's not technically a controller because it's a console.
If-
but on
It
Smash,
counts as both.
on Smash, you could use it as a controller.
Exactly.
And
It feels great. I mean, I love the little joystick on this, even though the C-stick was a shit idea. Buttons feel great. D-pad feels decent.
D-pad
Triggers-
feels better than some other.
Triggers
D-pad
work.
Full controller.
Triggers work.
I mean,
Very true.
they're not like the best triggers. They're comfortable enough for a handheld system.
Yep. All right.
3D is gimmicky and cool, so
That's more the console itself.
it gets a yeah for
It's a
me.
yeah.
Oh, I thought the picture was still up.
No, not if I have a choice.
Okay. Next. Here, I want to turn this off. I'm gonna go with this guy because I feel we need to talk about it. It is my second favorite controller of all time.
Ah,
It's
yes,
the Nintendo GameCube.
legendary.
All right.
Known as the Melee controller.
Yeah, should have brought your custom one.
I did, but I just wanted to show the Nintendo GameCube. All right. Alex made me a really nice controller, and it's what I use every day for Smash. This controller is great.
Yeah,
It's if you think about it, if this came out today, it'd probably suck. I think that
I disagree.
I think that it just carries so much.
It's eye catching.
It is eye catching, and it just carries so much
The
memories.
triggers though,
Yeah.
feel so good. Don't at me.
This is ASMR.
Yeah, fuck off.
No, it like when I hear Melee players just wave dashing, wave shining, everything. It's so
I mean,
good.
When those controllers are broken in, ooh, they're broken.
Yeah.
It feels very good.
I mean, they I wouldn't say like the buttons feel great
All right.
overall, besides the triggers.
I want to give my spiel about this controller.
Oh God.
Here we go.
Here we go. So, the standard controller. This is the ultimate standard controller for Smash, for Rival Evolution, for like anything, like in that area. But inherently, this is not a comfortable controller, and I don't think it is, as a controller, I don't think it is a good one in that sense. Only in the sense because compared to other controllers, ones that are successful, right? Even button spacing, which it does not have, right? Even button height from the plastic, which it does not have as well either. So sliding from button to button does not feel good, except if you're going from A to B. Why would you make the buttons not in order, and why would you make one bigger than the other? That doesn't make sense.
Well, A is the main button, so that's the button you press
D-pad is
the
the
most.
most horrid thing in existence.
Oh, for sure.
D-pad's awful.
Absolutely off the charts.
C-stick isn't
The
great.
triggers, which
C-stick's
although
pretty good.
sound the best, are also just springs and binary switches, and also you have to press them way too far to get down to where you have to click them to. I don't like that.
I guess, but it also gives you the build on
Missing
controllers
the
that
left
lot of them
shoulder
are missing.
button, lifting a left shoulder button
You know,
in general.
I actually had some third-party GameCube controllers that had the left shoulder button. It was
Yeah.
M.
M? What the hell?
God.
It's like other M, we don't talk about it.
You can even see where the joysticks are divided into this one. I think this one has 8, which is
Octagon.
worse.
Yeah.
Which is just worse. That being said, about the controller, I couldn't imagine playing Melee or any sort of competitive Smash without it. You know what I mean?
It's very much carried by Smash, though.
This
And
is
like Kirby
so
Air
in
Ride,
competitive
good
Smash
games.
now, when new technology fails us, like Pro Controllers and Joy-Cons, this is all reliable right here.
Yeah.
This is this is the undying god controller, in my opinion.
it's funny that you say that. Like it has a lot of flaws. It really does. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I played Time Splitters with this controller, and there was no issue.
Yeah.
I played Smash. I played Sunshine. No issues.
Right, but I feel like that's because people adjusted to it rather than people settled for it, rather than.
The PS2 controller is a great controller. The Xbox one or Xbox controller is pretty good, right? This came out around the same time. This controller means so much to me, right?
Oh, of course.
It's like you say that it's uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
I played the GameCube for at least 8 hours a day in the summers. You know, so it's like
It becomes comfortable over time, obviously, because your hands get used to it. You know what I
I
mean?
only have one real gripe with this controller, and that's like most controllers. It's easy to see what the buttons are. They're clearly marked: X, square, triangle, circle. You can always know what that is. But like getting into this controller, if you're not looking like closely at it, what the fuck is X and Y? You know, like. And, like,
I agree with that. Whenever I was showing
I mean,
somebody that never played GameCube before
Yeah.
the GameCube, they wouldn't understand what buttons what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not that that's a consistent problem with it. Like, the more you use it, obviously, you're not going to care about that shit.
the argument I have against that is that, you know, on the PS4 controller, these all look relatively the same besides the shape and the color, right? With this, these are so distinct for like a child. Like, you know, A
Well,
is
yeah.
green,
Very
B is
true.
red.
Yeah.
So like as when you're younger, it just feels so natural that, you know, press the big ass green button, press the
Yeah.
small
Of
B
course.
button for to
Especially
shoot.
with the
Yeah.
games.
Well, I'm
they
not talking-
literally show
Listen,
the
I'm not
big-ass
talking
green
from
button
a
going
child's
down.
perspective. I'm talking from a gamer's perspective.
Children aren't gamers. Children aren't gamers, idiot.
No, but that was like my only real gripe with it. I mean, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but this thing's iconic as fuck, and I played so many games with this. For example, Air Ride.
No other controller
So
sounds as good as
Yeah.
that one. No other controller sounds as good as that one.
It's so good. Yeah, nice ASMR with the GameCube controller.
It's fucking
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what I have to say other than what you guys haven't already said. It's a beast of a controller for sure. Not the best, but it gets the job done.
I think this is the only controller I can rely. Like, you can reliably swing around like a mace and then like throw
It'll be
it
fine.
and it'd be.
That was the
Oh,
GameCube
They are
as well.
durable as hell.
The
Yeah, they are
GameCube?
Oh,
really
you're
durable.
picking that bitch out by the handle on the back?
Jacob, my brother, dropped it down the stairs. The GameCube.
Yeah.
It still works.
Oh yeah,
Those things
they're
are
beasts.
meant to take abuse. Have you seen like all those like salty Smash Player compilations?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People like when they get mad, they unplug their controller, like take the cord and they'll pull it super tight around their hands.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh. Or like they'll literally just smash it on the ground
So-
and then like play
there-
another match in like 10 minutes.
That's so funny, yeah, because you say that, because there's a couple, like, of the GR Smash saltiest moments, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right.
they destroy that
Best
shit.
content in existence.
I've only seen, like, 2 controllers break out of all those rages. I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
like
Well, okay,
I've
no
seen-
one. Most people stop themselves
Yeah, I know,
before they
I
get
know.
to the point of
But
actually destroying it.
Leffen throws his controller. He's done that at least twice on camera, right? And
Fuck K9.
yeah, K9.
K9 will obliterate a controller.
Oh my gosh! But no, that's my second favorite controller. Third is the Pro controller. But number one, you guys know.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
listen to the podcast, you know. But I give this a big yay.
Oh yeah.
Keep going.
That's easy.
right.
Easy.
More content.
Yes.
I want to talk about these.
So we can talk about it in
Let's
two
talk about
ways.
plug and plays.
Yeah, plug and
Plug and
plays.
plays in general.
My favorite plug and play was the SpongeBob one, where you had SpongeBob's nose as the controller.
Oh
It was the
yeah.
joystick.
I know what you're talking
Seen
about.
that at the
That's a
store,
good one.
but I never
That's-
had.
That's a good one.
It was always like
You know,
the thing
my-
you wanted to buy, but
You know what my
Mom would
favorite
never
one
let
was?
you.
Like, first of all,
What?
it's battery powered.
Oh.
Not RCA
I was
powered.
confused for a second. I was like, all right, it wins. It wins.
You're like lost
But, like-
shit for a second. So,
Oh boy.
plug and plays are an exquisite realm of gaming right
Yes,
here.
absolutely.
So my favorite plug and play, I had a Spider-Man one, and it was not the more popular one where the controller was literally Spider-Man just standing up.
Oh yeah.
With his fucking arms at his sides. And
Yeah.
fucking,
Yeah.
No, mine was like one of those like pilot ones. It looked like almost, but it was just Spider-Man design, and it had some of the best fucking games on it. I swear to God, like there's one where it's like almost like first-person Doom-esque, and you'd go through the sewers trying to
hell
find
yeah.
crocodile. And there's one where like you'd shoot webs at Venom, like going by a building and shit like that. And you like so many fucking fun-ass games. As control interfaces,
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I think it really, really depends on which one you get. It really does.
It's
This right here, I have no idea. I have to feel a stick on it. But
It's,
problem,
it's,
the problem with
it's not
the
bad.
problem with a controller, this being called a controller, is that controllers can be used for different games. These are made for one sole purpose, and if it cannot do that job correctly,
This one
It is not
low
good.
key kind of slaps because it has Dig Dug, Pac-Man.
those are all games that
Centipede
that
on
are
it.
made exactly
Obviously
for that
these-
kind of gameplay.
Plug and plays are pretty restricted, but like the fight stick as this whole beast, they're nice.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Nothing will give you the direct input you
Yeah.
need like a fight stick,
Yeah.
it's true.
unless it's this fight stick.
This,
The arcade cabinets
this ain't
are
it.
good.
yeah,
yeah.
Arcade cabinets are
I know
good. This
people
is
that play fighting games, they like to hold it like this, where they just bob around, or like to hold it like up like this, where they can do it on eight.
you're gonna break it.
This is way too
Yeah.
long. This is a good button though. Let me tell you.
well, it's hard to fuck up good
This
arcade
is a good
buttons.
It's a good button, that's for sure.
Let me
I
see.
have to shake the table some.
Yeah,
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds
I'm
me of
really gonna
controller.
shake the table.
I have a controller.
Yeah,
I should have brought it this. I'm gonna go grab it because that's home.
Okay. Goodbye. Have fun.
yeah, it doesn't feel great. To be honest.
Absolute
Yeah,
garbage.
no. I'm gonna give this one a nah.
I think just based off the games, I'll give this one a plus.
I
I
can't.
like it.
I think I
Thumbs
could
up.
If it was
definitely.
an arcade, different story. It doesn't even feel too great for what it needs to be.
Oh, dude.
Don't shake the table.
Jeez.
All right.
It doesn't have too much.
Should I grab another one, Alex, or do you?
That's a yes.
All right. I'm grabbing another one. We're gonna start without him. So. Oh, we can do a little sidetrack. This is
Mayflash.
the GameCube adapter, not Mayflash.
Oh,
but
that's the official one?
this is the official
I've
one.
never seen
I bought it for. The inflation was like, I think when it came out, it was
What is
supposed
it
to be
now?
like, what?
How much is it now?
I don't know, but this was for the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So,
This is just a controller accessory, not a controller.
Yeah. I mean, when it came, this was a huge deal,
I mean, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you can still play. There's ways you can plug this into the PC, even though it's not in the Mayflash. There's still a way you can do that.
Yeah.
This was a huge game changer for playing NetPlay, and
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
why I just wanted to bring it.
Relative.
Yeah.
For sure.
Also,
Alright,
speaking
it's not
of,
a controller.
it's not a controller, but it's.
Nay, shitty controller. Get it out of here. Next controller.
It is indeed not a
What
controller.
fucking
I do-
game can I play with this?
I do want to bring up the Wii U tablet.
Where are the buttons?
Where the
I do want to bring up the Wii U tablet. We didn't bring it.
We
We kind of butchered that shit too. It's okay. It's an okay controller.
Worst
too
controller
big.
NA.
This one is the worst for it. Let's see if it
There's
stays.
not even any buttons.
The Wii U pad's a shittier DS. There we go. Nice.
All right. Now
Give it an
It's,
A.
I had to say, it's so convenient. Laying in your bed,
What the?
Oh yeah.
being able to
Are you ready
play
for
the
this?
game as you walk into the shitter.
You ready for this beast of a controller.
Oh, God.
This is an Atari flashback controller.
This is a true
Jesus.
fight stick.
This is like one of the joysticks. This is like ones that you like want on your TV.
Look at
Other
that
than these
plug.
god awful buttons right
Look at
here.
that plug.
What does this even plug into? Alex?
This goes into an Atari flashback, which is like you know how the NES has that little mini one. That's
Yeah,
they re-released
It's
them.
like
Yeah.
that kind of, but
Okay,
like just
yeah.
older in a sense. You could go.
Flashback in the 80s.
See what I mean? It's like better than you expect for sure. And this plays like super old games like Food Fight. Food Fight. All these like unrecognizable games that honestly I don't even remember.
Oh,
there's one
yeah.
called like I think there's one called like Desert Storm.
You
or
can
something
feel,
like
you
that.
can feel the groove.
Custard's
inside. It
Revenge.
feels good.
Yes, that's actually is one of them.
No way. No way.
Like it's a like really really old like top down like pixel style.
That's what that. You know what that
The
game is
joystick
about,
feels good.
right?
Huh.
Custer's Revenge.
We know
is-
what Custard's Revenge is.
You don't know
There's,
what?
there's something's revenge. Definitely.
I don't-
Custard's Revenge
Almost
is
positive.
not
I don't
a
think so.
child-friendly
It's
game.
it's
Oh, okay.
It was-
Maybe I'm dumb.
General Custer, and he's
Pillaging.
has to dodge arrows, and there's a Native American woman
that one.
tied,
Okay,
tied
that
up.
One, that one.
Not
Yeah,
a great
no, there's-
child-friendly game.
Probably not that one, but there's definitely a revenge.
Moving away from not General Custer the controller, that joystick is amazing.
Thumbs up.
Feels
for me.
great.
It's
Feels
nice
great.
and clicky all around.
I
And
can't
you know
say
these
it-
buttons ain't half bad either.
I'm gonna
I can't say
buttons.
I can't say I'm a fan of how it makes your fingers like
I'm
That's
gonna
not this part.
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna
good.
stop.
they feel good. So I'm gonna give it a yeah.
As a
That
controller?
that is exactly what a
Yeah.
joystick should be.
Yep.
Okay,
That is a good plug and play.
I'm
joystick
gonna
right
pull
there.
this one out, and since this is probably we have a
It's a
couple more,
two-parter.
but,
It's a two-parter. There you go.
keyboard and mouse. I'm a console gamer when I first
Oh,
started.
same here. Same here.
But-
both OG console
but-
boys.
Me too as well.
Since
Me
using
too as well. Mike. And you're done.
since using PC
Redundancies
for
are
like not gaming for using it actually as like
Just
an everyday
anything, yeah.
thing, right?
Surfing.
Using it when I switched to PC gaming as like a main state for me, it felt natural.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
it took a second. It did take a second. I was like, I don't want to do this, but I
It
was like,
feels natural because when you put your hand on a keyboard, like if you look at your fingers, your three directions are already like there pretty much.
Yep,
You know
it's
what
true.
I mean? You have your A, your W, and your D right here. That's free, and your pinky is where the left shift is, right about.
Yep.
yeah,
And just your thumb is about where the space bar is. So you're literally just kind of holding your hand on it.
yeah,
Um,
it's nice.
This is you cannot compare aiming on any other control surface other than a keyboard, like to a keyboard and mouse.
Yep.
Like that's it. Like, there's nothing more accurate than point and click. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Honestly.
In my opinion, like not
It's
even
a
like
beast.
arcade games where like you point at the screen with a gun. No, those
The
aren't accurate.
only gripe or the only thing I don't agree with that is I completely agree this is the most accurate thing for first person shooters. It's depending on the game itself, right? If you look at Halo
Yeah.
on the PC, like Halo Reach, you are at an advantage if you have a controller because the aim assist is amazing on
Yeah.
PC for
On PC, I'd argue differently.
I don't know, dude. I've gotten some.
No, I'm not saying
I
I'm not saying
bully some people with the mouse.
try
dude.
try it with a controller and you'll feel the aim assist. Like I tried it once just to see what the difference was. Literally, someone
the
was
skill
moving
cap is
at
better, though.
almost full speed, and I was still
I
following.
think the
them.
skill cap is better though. If you're better, if you're used to that on
Oh, yeah.
PC,
No,
then you can
I agree.
whoop someone with aim assist.
I agree. It
That's
just
your
all
big
depends on the
controller.
game. There's an in
Also, you're a bitch if you use aim stick.
yeah.
This is true.
The other thing is driving. Like any driving games with a keyboard and mouse feels.
No, you don't want to use it for
No.
that.
I think it also depends though.
Yeah,
Personally.
I agree.
Depends.
I think it also depends.
Star Wars Battlefront does a pretty decent job with it. It's
oh,
not
yeah.
bad.
It feels
but
good with Star Wars Battlefront.
It's not my favorite personally, but it doesn't feel bad when you're
Come on,
driving.
old Star Wars Battlefront. Come on, new
The old one kind of sucked. I'm talking about the new
one.
one.
It feels decent.
Yeah.
I drive just fine with stuff.
Yeah.
I think Halo feels good on it personally.
Oh, I love Halo on it.
I think Halo on keyboard and mouse is like vehicle wise is very good.
Yeah.
I think it does a
I
decent
think
job.
the Far Cries are also very good. Keyboard and mouse, and those like
I
also,
played those on console, so
even like the old Far Cries. Like I played Far Cry 2 on PC for a little
touch your
bit.
keyboard.
Yes, yes, my own keyboard.
Keyboard and mouse.
I mean,
I'm trying to
gonna
think
give
of
it a
anything
yeah.
that this doesn't
Does
have.
anyone
but,
else
like,
want to touch the keyboard and mouse?
Not that.
You put that right
I
here.
figured.
I will say, okay, there is something to be represented here, but like some games are harder to play without a joystick. I feel.
I
You know
agree.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Without a control
Yeah,
stick.
some
Fighting
games. Some
games.
games definitely like a
Fighting
joystick.
games.
Well, here's the thing. Like, yeah, people use fight pads, but even those have like joystick on them or something like that.
Okay,
You know what I mean? But like,
we're gonna
even then, these are like usable.
gonna do a double whammy here.
Bubble
Kind of the
bean.
same thing, really.
PS1, PS2.
Yeah.
I have a silver PS2 controller. This is
Oh, it's
sick
good
as
stuff.
fuck.
This is taken.
So the original PS1 controller, if you didn't know, didn't actually have the
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Nope.
why am I blanking on
Joysticks?
Joysticks, Jesus.
Joy-Cons?
Right? Joy-Cons. I was about to say Joy-Cons. The
I
D-pad.
had one of those.
D-pad's not
Yeah.
bad. Trigger's not bad. Button's not bad. But it's a classic.
It's also
It's
a bit
classic.
small in the hands, which they didn't really fix until the PS4.
I really really.
But I cannot tell you how
the
much.
joysticks are.
Yeah,
the
I've
joysticks
logged
are
so much time on the
sweet.
PS1 joysticks.
Battlefront
It's
2,
insane,
the original
dude.
Battlefront 2 on PS2 is so good.
Yeah, we went through it.
Yeah.
PS2, man, like these controllers, I give them mad clout.
Yeah,
like,
it's a nice controller.
I used to play poor man's fucking Guitar Hero with a controller.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
PS2.
Yeah.
Straight up,
Yeah.
like. You
The-
know, and this is also part of my nostalgia factor because I used to play I used to play the fuck out of Gauntlet Dark Legacy,
Yeah.
which with one of these bad boys. So like,
Yeah, the
this
P-
is
the
a great time.
PS1 feels
Good
very
controller.
similar.
Yeah. Almost exactly.
PS1 feels insanely solid.
So.
Yeah.
Like compared to most
It's
modern
just like-
controllers and how they're built now, like that just feels so much better. Like in terms of
D-pad
quality.
10 out of 10. D-pad's good.
It's alright.
I also just kind of like the way it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
It looks
they-
like a controller. If you think of like a controller, you're thinking of like maybe a PS2 or an Xbox
Yeah.
360.
This
I
is
like how
before
it's
they
like
made the switch to.
Yeah,
These are switches as well.
I like how they're like distinct shapes.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
D-pad's
It's
still
nice.
clutch.
They're good to look at. So
Dude,
nice,
the
nice
sticks on
shelf
the
piece.
PS2, as far as like gripness, as far as grip goes,
That's a word.
This is probably one of the best.
Feels good.
It's a yay for me.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
Oh, it's EA.
That's
For
a
me.
Sure,
hot
great
game.
I grew up on that shit. You're gonna get
Yeah.
EA from me.
There's only like one way you can beat that, and that's PS4.
We only have a couple more.
Good.
I want.
Good.
Let's see. Let's go to this one. And I'll bring out all the accessories with this too. So Wiimote. Actually, my opinion, best
Love it.
D-pad.
I love it.
Best D-pad.
I absolutely love the Wii.
Feel the
Remote controller.
D-pad. Feel the D-pad. And then here's the Pro.
Yeah,
I
you want to
believe.
know why? Because this feels like
Is that for the
3DS
Wii?
Yeah, this is the
For the
Wii.
Wii.
That
Yeah.
ass.
So you plug this in to the bottom, and this is really good for actually the shooters on the Wii.
Yo, Call of Duty Black Ops.
It's not bad. It definitely feels weird, but it works, and it's also really good
I mean,
for Mario
I remember
Galaxy.
I remember loving,
This-
loving
this-
these things.
This
I know
challenges what a normal controller is. Most controllers are horizontal. This controller was one of the first kinds to be like extremely vertical outside
Yeah.
of, you know.
and
But
They're just missing like a couple like comfortability design flaws of this.
because most
Other than
controllers,
that, I actually kind of really enjoy this.
it's alright.
Yeah.
The angle, like the wideness movement's good. The D-pad's fine. I like how it like does this little hook over thing,
Yeah,
so it
it's-
goes over your
yeah.
fingers.
It's not bad.
I played Super Mario Bros.
Yeah,
on
the
Wii.
new Super
You know,
Mario
the
Bros.
new one. Yeah, how you do multiplayer.
Yeah.
I played that with one of these, and I had a great.
Yeah, it's a good controller.
It was good, and I also like how they did clear buttons and put the letters underneath and make
Yeah.
it look all cool.
yeah. I don't know. This controller, like most controllers,
say-
require two hands, and
Yeah.
this one just needs the one, and
But
it's comfy as shit. I
If
do
you
agree
want to
with the
use
D-pad.
two hands,
If you do want to
Even then,
expand your dong,
you don't even need that
Um,
for
You
two
just turn
hands because you can turn
sideways.
it, but like
you get the good old satisfying as shit
Yeah.
every time.
the nunchuck.
Nunchuck.
Although, it being called the nunchuck is a bit ironic because I have whipped so many people with these fucking things accidentally. Which, please wear the straps. Please
Yeah.
wear the straps. Because you will hurt your friends. so
Strap
easily.
on.
But also, fun little fact, if you didn't know, if you don't have the sensor bar,
use
the
a lighter.
lighter, you know, something, it'll work.
Yeah, that's
The way the sensor bar worked is it shot out an infrared light that
That's-
the
that's
sensor's
like a-
actually in here.
That's a classic field controller, but I think as an applicable general controller, I think it's absolute dog ass. Oh, they cut it
Oh,
off.
Christ.
so.
Loki.
So-
That's probably
so-
what the idea was.
So far, the Wii stuff has been pretty good, but then we get
Here's
into
the thing.
it.
Well, here's the
Nope,
thing.
nope.
Here's the thing. Like this is a good controller for what it was made for.
Yeah,
That's about it.
and this.
I see no other reason to use this
I like to think of
except to get around the Wii.
I like to think of the Wii
Because you couldn't do
controller
it otherwise.
as the Iron Man of the controllers Avengers.
It's not like you can
You add
navigate the
pieces
whole
to
menu
it.
with a GameCube controller. It's not like you can navigate the home menu with anything but the fucking Wiimote.
Well, yeah.
I like how it's Bluetooth.
Yeah, it is
True.
Bluetooth. That's
So-
pretty ahead of its time.
Yep, here it is.
I like the idea of the Wii wheel, but
It was terrible.
The wheel.
Oh, wheel this on.
Just play,
That's what it
just
is.
play Mario Kart Wii with a damn GameCube.
Yeah,
Or just
that's true.
sideways like that.
But hey, it's nice that they added, dude, the Wii gun. Does anyone remember the gun feature for that?
God.
The add-on, you slipped it in the top,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah. So
Oh.
Nintendo's got
Oh.
the fuckiest controller.
I remember I got one of those for Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah.
But you needed to hit the A button to shoot in Resident Evil
Oh,
4.
Jesus.
Oh, that was
You hit B to ADS, and then you need to hit A to shoot. So I couldn't use the damn gun.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So
Broke my
we have
heart.
3 more controllers, but
Yeah.
I want to talk about
Better
this.
hurry it up.
This is we talked about how we can have the what's it called the it's the rails,
Yeah.
right? So this is I bought this on Amazon for $12, and when we started playing Mario Kart when it came out, this was the perfect solution. This feels great.
Oh, yeah.
And the actual buttons, like on the top, work, and they work nice. This feels really good.
Yeah.
It's There's still like the problem of like the Joy-Con drift and everything,
You
but
left
it's still good.
You left its counterpart at my house here. With the little wheel.
Oh.
At the
Oh,
Joy-Con.
yeah. Oh,
It's
my
like
God.
this. It's like
But
this.
it's like half the size. It's not that big.
It's like this, but worse.
Oh, God.
I think
Somehow
this
it
works.
could be
I don't-
worse.
It makes it a little awkward.
It's a little
I
small.
feel like it's awkwardly seated
But
in there.
but you get used to it.
But this is the solution to this.
It is very much the solution.
Even
to
the rails like aren't as good as that.
Yeah, it's great.
I feel like you just stuffed it in wrong,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's fine. So the
Yeah.
next controller,
a
I
good
think
one.
that's a yay. Value.
Yeah.
So the next one is just
I
anything.
bought this recently.
Yeah, anything third party. Like
I don't know how to get this out.
oh,
I'm sorry. This is a third-party Pro controller. I just bought off Amazon, for like almost half the price. And I will say they sent me this one. I think they gave me a bad one. I got a new one and it's coming in tomorrow.
David
like,
broke his
literally
own
next day.
controller.
this is
like-
your controller.
I'm not paying you this time.
You know how like you bought a third-party controller and it didn't work. That's funny. But like this felt like they actually just like manufacturing was just not good on this one for whatever reason. The robot built it wrong. The right trigger doesn't work, and there's a weird click on the left stick. You'll see
weird.
But-
when you turn it. But other than that, dude, this thing feels exactly like a Pro controller, and with clickier share buttons that aren't flush with the things and the home button. Everything feels exactly the same, including the weight, and it's got this cool, fashionable, ergonomic grip on here and on the back right here.
Shout out to third-party controllers for being a little bit cheaper and a little bit more weird.
What?
This is the
Hori-
closest like too. Like Hori makes the most insane controllers in existence. They're the ones responsible for the PS. I think what was it? The PS3 Katana controller.
Oh yeah, fuck.
You remember that?
Yeah,
You
it's
remember that?
crazy shit.
They also do the GameCube
D-pad's
controllers.
pretty good too.
Yeah.
They do the wireless
More
GameCube.
Yeah, feels good.
It's good.
What else? Yeah,
I'm
Mad
getting a new one
Catz.
tomorrow. We'll see if it's actually like a design
in fact,
flaw.
love these buttons. If you don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah, I think it's
when
pretty
I get the
good.
new one tomorrow, like we'll see if it's actually just bad or.
We'll see, but I mean, for the most part, you got an $80 controller for $30.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the pros are only like 60 or 70, but
They're 70.
At least double the price normally.
Yeah.
So for the last controller, and I'm going to talk about a little add-on to it.
Add-on? You mean DLC?
Yeah.
I don't think so, bro.
I think
I don't
that
think so.
it feels so good.
I put the most game time out of any console on a 360 controller, and I still think it's one of the worst.
One of the
Not
worst.
one of okay, not sorry, one of
What?
one of my, definitely nowhere near my favorite.
It's the most iconic controller for me.
I
It
love
looks
the
like
360.
it looks like a gaming controller. Like if I think of a controller, I think of the Xbox 360 controller. You have the beautiful buttons, right? And you
Buttons
have
are
the
pretty good.
perfect Joy-Cons. God damn it.
Joysticks.
Joysticks.
You have the abysmal D-pad.
It is a shitty D-pad.
It's
That's
abysmal, but
it's so good. The triggers, oh my god, the bumpers,
Triggers
good.
and bumper. It's a good controller. This is what you're forgetting about. Is you're
Battery
looking
pack,
back.
baby.
I have not had a 360 controller that did not have a problem with its battery.
Also
pack.
true. Yeah.
Really?
That was pretty common. I mean, like,
this is
Awful.
This is the only controller that I have seen the most problems with this controller in general for anything. I mean, straight up, like this is the worst controller in
I will agree on that. Yeah.
button jamming, button stickiness, joystick wearing out, D-pad input not working, needing batteries constantly.
No, I thought the battery life was great on it.
It's
okay.
It's not even just the batteries.
I had
that
battery
be the problem.
packs,
The packs
and
just
they were
break
awful.
sometimes.
Was it third party?
No.
All right.
Yeah, cheap fucking plastic.
Like sometimes they
Okay,
would just
PS3 is also
unseat.
cheap
Like
fucking
if you
plastic.
shake the controller,
PS3
sometimes
is
the
also cheap
batteries would
plastic, and I'll give it
unseat
that.
and it would
It
lose
deserves
connection.
that.
It's thicker than that.
Cheap fucking plastic.
Let me see.
I think it feels good.
Ah,
Now this,
more fies
this is the ultimate
combined
patch.
with keyboard.
How does this
You
work?
break your own controller
Oh, I
again? bro?
fucking broke it.
Let me see.
Oh,
You actually break it.
yeah.
Dumbass.
There we go. All right.
And now,
This is the
Well,
ultimate
it's true form.
keyboard and
now
mouse.
we're talking shit about people's moms, bro.
Jesus.
I'm gonna type the N word.
Imagine the little shits that ask this for Christmas.
Why do you think I have it?
But outside of the cancer tool on the bottom of it, I think a really smart thing they did in this was give it humps so that your fingers don't reach each other nearly as well.
It's still holding.
It's not flat, which is the problem I have with the Xbox One, is that it's just like gross.
Fingers
This is
hitting each other.
This gives you space.
Yeah, dude, it's
The triggers, I really like triggers. I've always liked triggers on
Yeah.
Xbox 360. Shitty D-pad, everybody knows that. I will say this is pretty high up there. I played so many games. Gears of War. I played all the Gears of War
Halo.
on Xbox 360.
Halo with an Xbox 360
So
controller
good.
feels right.
Bro, I played like 900 fucking hours of Dark Souls with
But
a fucking controller.
I'm willing to forgive
Ha!
the amount of
Like-
crazy, problems that would happen with this, because I remember we went through the most amount of these kind of controllers.
I have 20 at home.
My
How
point
many
being,
work? All of
20,
them?
well, probably 18.
yeah, but see, my point being, not all of them work. But I mean, I'm willing to forgive that because this is just such an
It's
iconic
just-
controller, and I played
Anybody can pick that up
so much shit
and
with this.
have a good time with it.
Yeah.
It's so, like, press the A button. It's,
Dude.
it's the green button.
At the same way anyone can
yeah.
pick it up and have a good time, it's also as likely, if not more likely, that you're going to pick it up and something's going to be wrong with it.
I guess, but, like, that's, like, again, you can just forgive it.
In terms of controller
You
life
could just forgive it, right?
in terms of controller life longevity, this loses.
Oh, no shit.
yeah, batteries.
But I don't
Garbage,
care.
Garbage.
The game,
Battery's garbage.
the
The
controller.
hardware is bad too. The hardware is bad. Like
It tends.
it's just bad quality.
I'm surprised you
lot.
like this better than the Xbox One.
I love
I
that.
like
Thank
it better
you.
than
Like, I
Xbox
think the
One.
Xbox it feels tighter. It feels more
Of
structurally
course,
sound.
I'm very biased. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
It's just,
It does have decent
This
shape.
controller
It-
only has mad nostalgia factor. That's about it.
That's true.
no, it feels good.
It has insane.
I think
nostalgia.
for a long time, this was the best controller.
yeah.
I mean, now
For a
we're-
very hot minute.
I mean, we're in the year 2020. So
I
mean,
think now that is not the case.
yeah, of course not.
But for a long time, this controller
Top
was
dog.
I
the
th- it's my favorite. Like that's it's the best for me, and I
Until they
think
come
it's
out
the
with
best.
Xbox 362.
Yeah, you're
Then,
right.
then you'll shut up.
It's like you can plug this in. This was the first thing I plugged into the PC and actually played like the single player RPG games
Yeah.
with.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's just it feels so good.
I liked my third party like controller, Xbox controller better. And that was a wired one that had fans in it.
I like
My
my
hands
wired
were
one.
like cool as a
wired one.
Yeah.
cool as a refrigerator. Ooh man, it was nice.
Well, it did.
I could go-
Small mention
And
though.
that one lasted longer than any other controller has.
These all
360
weren't. Not all these were just battery packs. I have a corded one that you can use instead that just does USB. So there's
Yes.
that option if you don't want to deal with the battery packs. And those work fine. My corded one has had zero problems. It is a beast. I've dropped
Your
that
quarter
shit.
one, I have problem connection problem with it.
It does have some problems when you're connected to the Xbox.
You have a
That was I was not.
yours has like
Okay.
bent, weird bent
But
wires coming out the top.
I
at the moment.
I don't blame that on the controller. I blame it on my shitty laptop that I connected it to a million times. That busted the shit out
No,
of it.
I mean like it's coming out.
Yeah, no.
Well, anyways, it's the beast controller. Fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about.
It's the best controller.
Yay.
It's
I
a big
I give
yay.
it a yee.
I give it a yeah.
I'll give
I
it
give
a
it
yay.
a salty yeah.
So we missed. There's not obviously not every single controller in the world right here, but I think this is a good bunch that we all have.
It's a representative amount.
Yeah, we all have a lot of.
Shout outs to the Nintendo Glove, Power Glove,
Yeah.
the Hori controller katana, the what's that one?
There's so
mouse?
many gems that we
All
don't
those,
have.
all those mice that are literally balls on gyroscopes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I think it shows. I feel like this is the most heated we got with each other
I disagree, but
heated, like on the podcast.
camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what. No shit.
well, I'm not talking about Jeez, no. I think we've got.
No, I think Alex and I have a lot of different views on the controllers, but I think that we can both say that Nintendo makes the best controllers.
I think it's
I'm just kidding. No, my favorite's the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So, I think that we
Alright.
spend a lot of time on these controllers, and we play a lot of the games. And at least for Caleb and I as well, like we said that we don't really care what we're playing, but when we dive into these controllers, each one of them right here has a special quality. Like Nintendo 64 looks iconic too. Like,
Oh yeah.
They all have like this special
They have a
kind of attachment to everyone. Even if you're watching, you're really like, I love the GameCube controller. Well, why did you say that the this thing sucks? Why like there's so many memories just by looking at the controller. Even though you're not looking at it the most, it's what you're holding. It's the connection. It's the key to the game.
right. In my opinion, a good controller should feel like your gaming experience team. It should feel like your experience with the game is entirely uninhibited by whatever you're using,
I
and that
agree.
to me is the best kind of controller. And I think we should just go around like with our top 3 real quick.
For sure.
I do partially
Can
disagree
you
with
make
that
sure
statement, though.
Can you make sure that's still
Because
recording?
I think without having, I do agree there's like a standard for controllers, but I think without, if we just went cookie cutter for every controller and made it like the most optimized it could be, we wouldn't have shit like the wheel or the weird ass gun. All not necessarily great things, but I would rather be in a world with them than without them because that's weird as fuck and I love it.
That's what makes and that's what I'm saying. That's what makes a good quality controller to me. That's not. Nintendo gets the big points for experimenting with their controllers.
Yeah, of course.
They're the only ones that have tried to release mainstream consoles.
Look at the
with wacky
PS1 to
controls.
PS4. Like literally,
Not much change.
Like not much.
But that's the example. Like
Yeah,
that's
small
what,
change.
Small,
Yeah.
it's not like
Here's the thing.
significant.
That's them going. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that honestly led them to
Nintendo,
The PS4.
It's broke.
did
Fix it.
this and did
It
this.
was not, though.
No, they went, that was cool, but let's try something different next time, because why the hell not,
Genius.
Right. So, anyways, I think
Welcome to Flavor Town.
right. For that sake, I'm going to say the best controller, in my opinion, is still going to have to be PS4.
I agree.
The reason why you don't see change from going up the generations of PlayStation is because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that honestly led to the best controller overall in terms of versatility and technical ability.
I
and-
agree. Depending
and
on what I'm doing,
durability.
what I'm playing, 9 out of all the controllers on this table, 9 times out of 10, I'm picking the PS4.
Yep. After that, I'm going to say the Pro Controller. That's so damn good. It's almost up there with the PS4, just about. And then it's honestly better than a PS4 in terms of comfortableness. I'd say holding a Pro Controller feels better than holding a PS4.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then my last one, I'm going to have to say, I think I'm going to have to say the Atari joystick 2020. This is the best controller interface to date. Don't at me.
Great choices, Alex. I really respect your choices of the PS4.
I don't.
I don't think I got this clear enough. That Xbox 360 is the best.
The keyboard
controller.
doesn't count. Keyboard does not count.
Yeah. GameCube close second.
Good choice.
And then the third best is the Pro Controller for me.
Yeah.
But my honorable mention goes to the PS2.
Yes.
PS2
So many games
controller
played.
is so good.
Yeah, classic.
Jesus Christ. Stop hitting don't bang the table. So I'm a big PS fan, as we've talked about previously.
PlayStation 4.
He's a big
PlayStation.
PlayStation 1, baby.
Kyle, what are you into?
Big
What kind of?
PS, PlayStation, David. I don't know what you're into, but let's not talk about that. So
Xbox 360 porn.
Rule 34. It's there.
Xbox 360 controller.
for thy nice children.
Man,
PS2
Gamer gunk all over
PS2
it.
is, and I think the
Is that
honestly
number
the
one?
most,
Is that number one?
yeah. Easily the most amount of games I've played on a console comes from PS2.
Yeah.
Out of any console I've played in my life, I have played the most on this damn controller. I have been through 9 PS2 controllers overall. I had like a 4 or 5 at my mom's house in Equal Shores. Yeah.
Probably bleep that out.
Yeah, we'll see. It doesn't matter. You can't find me if you wanted to. Otherwise, Pro Controller, solid as shit. Could take a beating. And then I think lastly, I will go PS4.
Yeah.
I hate the PS3 controller. I think it's a piece of shit. And PS4 went in the right way. It's the logical evolution. I like to think of the PS3 as the ugly stepchild of PS controllers.
That's fair.
So, yeah. Cool. My top 3 dogs.
All right, fine. I'll keep this up here, Caleb, because you guys like the PS4 controller.
Good.
It's the number one.
It's a beast.
PS4,
It's a beast.
without a doubt.
Beast.
Beautiful controller. After that, I gotta go GameCube.
Yep.
These
Solid.
two are the most reliable for me. Have always been there. Well, not always. You know, it's a pretty modern controller, but these two are very reliable.
Spiritual.
I've had the least problems with them. And then I think number 3,
Interesting.
Ooh.
Joy-Cons. I
Okay.
love them.
Really?
It's a strong choice.
I don't have a
see
Pro
that.
controller.
Here's what I find interesting about this. None of us put the keyboard and mouse.
No, well, when you think of a controller,
Keyboard and mouse doesn't shout controller to me.
This is a controller interface.
yeah, it's not made as an express purpose of it's a controller. Not the controller. If you close your eyes and imagine a controller, you're not going to imagine a keyboard and mouse. That's just not what you think of.
It's also because PC gaming is newer than console gaming. Just in general.
True,
Kind
but
of.
I think this was.
Depends on how you want to.
You can think of controllers differently because even in some games it different.
I'd say
the
games have been
controllers.
played with controllers longer than they've been played with keyboard and mouse.
But
I'm saying it's not until recently that you've started thinking gaming and started associating PC in
oh,
your head.
think of it in the sense of
any experience gaming growing up was with a controller. Like,
I
you know?
disagree.
think of it,
I grew up playing Warcraft.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
you are the biggest PC fan I know. You're the one that like really got me into PC
I'm saying
gaming.
it was more common to have a controller based.
Yes, I agree.
It was more common to have a controller growing up than a keyboard and mouse. By
yeah.
far. By
Well, think of
far.
it in the sense that, like, in a lot of games today, the settings between how you play a game are controller and keyboard and mouse. That's literally how they separate them.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
because
They're just different forms of
this isn't the
input.
controller.
That's because
right?
they're different forms.
This is
of
a
input.
controller. It became a controller second. Technically, while it was there, it wasn't coined that
yeah,
until later.
because it was a typewriter. It was
Into the
a
technical definition of a controller. Technically, this controls.
It fits the definition, but it doesn't fit the
This is the
spirit.
Guys with Beard podcast. I'm David.
All right,
But,
we should
yeah.
wrap it up.
Always wrap it up.
Yeah, I agree.
I love
And on that
joke.
note, this is Guys with Beards. I'm Alex.
I'm David.
I'm Kyle.
Caleb,
And
I love you.
Cut!